just need you all to know that I just filmed this entire video and I checked and I did it all in slow motion. So, what a way to go, baby. What a way to start it. Oh boy. Okay, so you can tell from the title that this is my newbie book tag. I have a couple of videos already on my channel, but I did realize that after I had kind of jumped into this whole community, I never did a formal introduction. In my first video, I kind of touched upon a couple of these subjects, so if you have seen that, I'm sorry, disregard them and listen to this, because this is the newbie, new me book tag. So without further ado, let's just get into it. First and foremost, why did you start this channel? Like I said in that first video, I wanted to have an outlet that I could encourage myself to read much more than I'm already doing. Pretty proud of how much I read, but I definitely think that I could do more. And I think having a community of people to talk about books openly and as passionately as they do on BookTube is just going to continue to propel me towards the goal of reading X amount of books a year, or reading books that I otherwise wouldn't have chosen, reading really thick books, really difficult books. I want to be able to just be motivated. It's like BookTube is like a personal trainer for readers. I really feel that way, I do. So I wanted to contribute to that, and I wanted to be able to meet people and augment my experience with reading in a way that I hadn't before. So that's why. 2, what are some fun and unique things that you can bring to BookTube? I was just gonna say YouTube. I would say that the books that I choose to read, I think, are slightly different than a lot of booktubers that I see. I do see a lot of young adult, which I totally appreciate. I personally don't read, but I do like to see what people are reading in those kind of circles. What I can bring that's unique is the fact that I do live in New York City. I mean, not to say that other booktubers don't live in New York City, but I think just having the influence of such a popular place that books are set in and such a cultural significant point, I would like to be able to show people maybe like they read a book and they want to know what these places are. I could definitely show you that. I'm very fluent in the city at this point, and I would like to introduce that to people that otherwise might not be that familiar with it. So that is definitely, I think, something unique that I can bring. Also, I do want to have some of my friends on the channel. I would like to do interviews with my friends and see what they're reading, because I think me as a singular person, it might be fun, but I also think having other people's opinions is a lot more educational as far as what you can get out of it. So yeah, and my camera's falling again. That's also something unique you'll get. Insane technical difficulties. Okay, what are you most excited about for this YouTube channel? I am excited to meet people. I'm excited to talk to people about books. There's nothing more satisfying to me than when I wake up and I see that someone who I follow has posted a new video and they're talking about books and they're showing off those beautiful covers, and it's just so titillating for me. So that's what I'm most excited about. Well, for this new channel, I guess I should say I'm excited to show what attracts me and what kind of forms me as a person, because I do think that books contribute a lot to someone's personality. And I think when people talk about the books that they like, it's kind of comparable to talking about what kind of music that they like. I think it's such an intimate experience to share with someone. So I think sharing books is what I can offer. Where do you love reading? I have a couch, which I do a lot of my reading on. I actually had that in my last video when I sobbed over A Little Life. I read on this chair. This is a pretty new addition to the household. It's a really beautiful chair. I read in here when I don't feel like falling asleep to books. It's not like the most comfortable thing, so I won't fall asleep. I do also read in my bed. And I read a lot outside when the weather is permitting. I live right next to the water in Brooklyn, so I do have a really nice summertime routine of walking to a park next to the water and reading and absolutely being so grateful for my life. What book or book series got you into reading? My mom and my dad read to me a lot when I was younger, so I was really fortunate for a pretty early introduction. But as far as books that I read to kind of independently source my passion for reading, I would say 3 books that stood out to me. Stargirl. Love that book. Small Steps by the guy who wrote Holes. Totally forget his name. And then The Watsons Go to Birmingham. Also can't remember who that's by. 3 amazing books. Cried during all 3 of them, and I think just knowing that books can catapult you into this emotional realm of like really engaging with it is what captivated me. And I still remember them to this day. So I think that that definitely holds gravity as far as like the impression that books can give you. Did I do why do you love reading already? Why do I love reading? Did I do that one already? Whatever. Why do I love reading? I love reading because it is my form of education. I think it's the most important way to understand different cultures, understand different people, understand different ways of life that you otherwise aren't familiar with, and being able to get a firsthand account usually of how those lives are led. Even if you like a book or don't like a book, you can always get something out of it. And I think that's why reading is so important to me. It's amazing. I love it. What kind of books do you like to read? I think that ties into what would make this channel unique and fun. I like a lot of alternative books, kind of like alternative lifestyle books, very contemporary literature, you know, twangs of not taboo subjects, but different subjects that otherwise aren't super mainstream. I also love a lot of memoir. I like a lot of nonfiction. I always try to intersperse nonfiction with fiction. I like a lot of funky books. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm definitely gonna read a lot of classics as well, but I just think having access to something that otherwise isn't super popular is what I like to read. I'll read anything, but books that I naturally gravitate towards are definitely more alternative and slightly darker in nature, I would say. So yeah, guys, I'm happy that now this isn't filmed in slow motion, so it's real-time speed. But yeah, this is me. Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm so excited to be going on this journey with everyone, and I'll continue. I think I'm gonna post about twice a week. Let me know if you guys have any preferred days, what's most accessible to everyone. And yeah, I'm so excited. Please, you know, drop a comment, tell me where you're from. I just love to meet people from all over, and I'm excited to talk books with you guys. And I look like someone's like auntie in this, so like for auntie content. Bye.